Hi, today I want to talk a little bit about landing pages. I know it's a sexy topic, but you know what though? If you're doing a marketing campaign, you're gonna need a landing page. And if you don't have a landing page, look back on some of these things. I think I talk about wasting money on pay-per-click. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'll reference that at some point, maybe in the description, whatever the case ends up being. Go take a look. So, what I want to give you is 5 tips to improve your landing page. These aren't like brain numbing things. They're just some obvious things that people don't know. Because let's think about it this way. If someone is coming to a page, they've seen an ad or they've seen a post or whatever it ends up being, they're they're going to click through because you pique their interest. So they're kind of at the very beginning stage. They might be tire kickers. They might be interested. Who knows? But you need to kind of take that all into consideration. So here's my first tip: make it obvious that they came to the right place. Like, don't talk about one thing and then kind of do the bait and switch headline. If you keep it consistent from one to the other. The second tip is your keep your graphics very consistent as well. If you're using a video, use a video on your landing page. Here's my third tip. My third tip is have an FAQ on the landing page. The reason why I say that is because people are going to have questions. And if your only method of conversation or communication is a form, and it's just name, email, and message, or whatever the case ends up being, they might have some questions before they actually do that. Now, if you can answer those questions, you're only going to make them a little bit closer to answering or to reaching out through the form. The fourth tip that I want to put in there is have a little bit of information about you, your company, or whatever whatever your entity that you're using, because people get scammed all the time. The level of trust on the internet is zero, but it's relied on for everything, which I think is just kind of an oxymoron. People don't trust the internet, but they trust the internet. Like, they will believe something that someone says on TikTok, but if you're an educated, well-documented blog post, they have some questions. So it is what it is, but you want to make sure that you have some authenticity on that landing page. Now, it could be down at the bottom, and truthfully, people may not even scroll down that far. But if they're really thinking about taking the next step, you want to make sure that you've given them the information that they're going to be thinking about. Because basically, it's a kind of a leap of faith that just puts some information into a form. And depending on how detailed that form is, the more questions you ask, the more they really are going to consider whether or not this is really where they want to go. But actually, that's my fifth tip, the form. Now, it really depends on what you want to do with your landing page, but my honest opinion is that the more questions you ask on the form, the more information or the more in-depth or the more serious this person is going to be. Now, I'm not saying it needs to be 50 questions, but if it's just name, email, and we'll deal with it later, you're going to get a lot of BS. I'm serious. People will just, people will just fill out the form just to fill out the form. What you really want to do is make sure that if you have a conversation with this person, whoever it is, whatever your service is, that you have some starter information. You really don't want to start from scratch, because honestly, if you want to do, it's just an awkward situation. It's like, hi, Bill. Hey, I hear you're having a problem with your HVAC system. I'd be glad to talk about a little bit more about X, Y, and Z, whatever the case ends up being. So that's my fifth tip. So when you think about your landing page, think about the fact that A, no one knows who you are. B, they don't trust you from the very beginning. C, you need to earn that trust. And finally is you need to have a way to start the conversation when they finally do make that reach out. And that's my quick tip for the day. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'll talk to you soon.